Good evening. I'm Dan Johnston, a resident of Windsor, your neighbor to the north, and a member of Windsor Neighbors for Responsible Drilling. Our neighbor, our community, our town, like many communities in the Front Range, was faced with neighborhood oil and drilling. With your permission, I'd like to share some of our story and some of the lessons we learned along the way. In August 2014, my neighborhood was shocked to learn that an operator wanted to drill 28 wells and install 54 tanks just over 500 feet from the family homes. We contacted the operator, the town board of Windsor, and the COGCC, and I have to tell you the responses were not encouraging. Some of my neighbors wanted us, pushed us to try to seek a ban of the industry from Windsor, and even to seek recall of some of the town board members who appeared unsympathetic to us. Instead, we started doing our homework. We researched property records, we researched the technology, the industry, oil and gas regulations. We learned that when dealing with oil and gas developments, the normal rules just don't apply. We also learned that actions such as trying to ban the industry or seeking a recall of public officials were misguided because they just don't move these conflicts toward resolution. But the good news is there are actions that citizens and local governments can take to find solutions. I'm pleased to tell you that after a year of work and negotiations, the driller who wanted to put those 54 tanks and 28 wells next to my neighborhood agreed to move the entire project a mile away to a better location. A better location that allowed the product to be piped away from the pad, thereby saving wear and tear on the roads, lowering conflicts in traffic, and lowering the noise and the exhaust from literally hundreds of thousands of truck trips over the life of the project. A location that was better for Windsor as a community and better for our neighborhoods. Because time is limited, I can't go into all the details of a year's worth of work, but I would like to share with you what we consider 4 important takeaways from that experience. First, impacted citizens must be part of the process. We know our neighborhoods. We will experience firsthand the conflicts between our lives and the oil and gas industry. Impacted citizens must be given notice. They must be part of the process, and they must be heard. Second, the local government must be proactive in these situations. While you have heard many people tell you what you cannot do, I'm telling you there are things you can do. Actions that are not preempted, actions that protect the rights of mineral owners and yet still help protect your constituents in their neighborhoods. In Windsor, the first response we got from our town board was, "We can't help you very much, we don't want to get sued." But once we began showing them real, attainable alternatives, they became our biggest advocate, our partner, and they strongly lobbied the other stakeholders and the COGCC on our behalf. Third, all stakeholders must come to the table to find a solution. Everyone has an interest, financial or otherwise, in these situations, and they must be accounted for in the negotiations. And fourth, COGCC involvement is critical. They are the decision maker as to whether an operator can drill on a specific location. Impacted citizens cannot engage the COGCC at a level to affect change. That must be you, the local government. The COGCC has said it wants to engage with local governments when there's a concern about a particular oil and gas facility siting. Take them up on it. Put them to the test. It worked in Windsor, and it can work here and in other communities on the Front Range. Finally, I'd like to leave you with a discovery we made in our journey. While we didn't know it at the time, our approach evolved to one that closely follows a paradigm used by many land use planners, and that's avoid, minimize, mitigate. There are actions you as a local government can take in each of those areas when faced with a neighborhood oil and gas development. Actions that are not preempted. I urge you to explore those actions that you can take and to be ready to employ them whenever appropriate. Thank you for your time and attention.
Thank you. And Councilmember Phillips?
Yeah, Mr. Johnson, I just wanted to respond. I guess I just want to go, wow. Thank you for coming here tonight. I liked how Pastor Matt began tonight with, "We are lovers of peace," and it seems like your group, which I think we can say is an environmental and anti-fracking group, you can tell that you're lovers of peace, and so that really resonates with us. I want to say thank you for being amazing, and thank you for this model that you're talking to us about right now, in which it's effective because, as you know, we're dealing with, an anti-fracking group and drill baby drill on each side, and in the middle we have this beautiful space to collaborate. And so that's what you're talking about right now, in this idea of, let's get to the table and work on regulations. So currently, the City of Thornton, for your information, the City of Thornton, including the council, and that does include Council Member Coleman, who I do speak up for boldly and loudly, including her. We are all working hard right now on some of the things that you just recommended, regulations, city services, and a stakeholder process. And I agree with you that we cannot be distracted by recalls of elected officials at taxpayer expense. I want to say that again, at taxpayer expense. Instead, we need people like you, Mr. Johnston. We need people like your group and really your model for us to be able to solve this problem. Really, we're looking for serious people because we need to solve a serious problem. I feel inspired by you coming here tonight, so thank you.
Thank you for your kind words. We discovered, if I may just have
Sure.
1 minute, we discovered that these issues are very tough issues. They're very tough, and the solutions aren't easy. It took us a year to reach a positive resolution. But there are solutions out there. And again, if you use the hierarchy of avoid, minimize, mitigate, you can often find solutions that may not be perfect for everybody, but they're better for everybody. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Johnson.